All right, thank you for coming today. I'm attorney Gloria Allred, and with me is Peggy Shannon. And I'll be making a statement, then Ms. Shannon will make a statement, and then I'll be taking questions. Ms. Shannon will not be taking any questions at this time. All right?
Okay.
All right. We are here once again with yet another Mayor Filner victim. This time he sexually harassed Peggy Shannon. Peggy Shannon is a 67-year-old senior citizen who worked part-time 3 to 4 days a week in City Hall to supplement her Social Security income. She began working in City Hall in November 2012 when Jerry Sanders was mayor of San Diego. She worked 3 to 4 hours a day at a desk in the lobby of City Hall. Her job was to help the senior citizens that came to City Hall. She was there to answer their questions and to let them know where they could go to receive services to which they were entitled. Peggy loved her job until Mayor Filner made her job unbearable. After Mayor Filner was elected, but before he was inaugurated, Peggy was stationed close to the door that he used, and he would quite often come over to talk to her. He made flirtatious comments to her as he was coming into City Hall or leaving. She thought that the mayor-elect was just being mildly inappropriate. However, in January 2013, after he was inaugurated, his behavior became worse. Shortly after he became mayor, as Peggy was leaving work and as Mayor Filner was coming back into the building, he came over to her and suddenly hugged her and kissed her on the lips. Ms. Shannon was in shock. She went home and cried. She could not believe that he would do this to her. She was astounded that the mayor thought that he had the right to kiss her on the lips without her permission. Peggy didn't know what to do or how to handle the situation. He was the mayor. She was just a part-time employee living on her Social Security and the little money that she earned from the city to supplement her income. She felt trapped and powerless. Thereafter, the mayor would routinely stop at Ms. Shannon's desk and ask her to feel his hands. When she declined, he would grab them and say, quote, "See, my hands are smooth." The mayor repeatedly asked Ms. Shannon to go out with him. He asked if he could see her socially on the weekends, with the apparent intention of starting a relationship with her. She politely declined time and time again. This went on for months. She was fearful that because she declined the mayor's advances, she would lose her job, which meant so much to her. She enjoyed serving the senior citizens of San Diego, and she needed the little extra money that she earned. Ms. Shannon started to feel depressed and anxious every time that she went to work. The job that she had initially loved became a source of shame and humiliation for her each and every time that Mayor Filner would approach her desk. At times, she would see him coming and hide. Other times, she was not so fortunate, and she would be forced to endure his inappropriate behavior. Several months ago, Mayor Filner once again came to her desk and took her hand without her permission and asked her, "Do you think I could go 8 hours straight?" He was obviously not talking about work. Peggy replied, "Are you kidding?" The mayor said, "No, I can go 8 hours." This was too much. Peggy immediately told her supervisor and her coworker what he had said. On July 10, 2013, the day before the news broke about the mayor's sexually inappropriate behavior, the mayor came by Ms. Shannon's desk and said, "Hi, honey." On Friday, July 12th, the day after the mayor made his now famous video apology, he walked by Ms. Shannon and put his finger to his mouth and said, "Shh." Ms. Shannon felt that he was sending a message to her, that she better not talk about what he had done to her or else. She has lived in fear ever since. On July 18, 2013, Peggy filed a complaint with the Equal Employment Investigations Office, EEIO, alleging that Mayor Bob Filner had sexually harassed her. She asked for a letter of apology from the mayor. The EEO confirmed receipt by issuing a letter to Peggy that same day, July 18th, stating that her claim had been, quote, received and reviewed, end quote, and that their office would, quote, initiate an investigation of her allegations of harassment, end quote. Peggy has yet to receive that letter of apology from Mayor Filner. Peggy no longer wishes to live in fear and remains silent about Mayor Filner's sexual harassment of her. She feels that no matter what the personal consequences to her, that she cannot stand by any longer without adding her voice to those that have already come forward and demanded that the mayor resign. The mayor targeted and preyed upon Peggy Shannon, a senior citizen who was employed at City Hall to help seniors. Peggy was there to do her job, but Mayor Filner seemed to think that she was there solely for his sexual pleasure, and that she was fair game, even though she never gave him any reason to think that she would be interested in something other than a working relationship with him. Enough is enough. At this point, all Peggy cares about is the betterment of San Diego for her family and the community. In order to achieve that goal, Peggy feels that it is necessary for the mayor to resign. Peggy doesn't want any other working woman to be subjected to what she has had to suffer. Mayor Filner, you suggested that you can go 8 hours. But Mayor Filner, we don't care how long you can go. We just want you to go as quickly as possible. At one point when Peggy was working at City Hall, a male co-worker walked by and said hello to Peggy. The mayor countered with, quote, "No, that's my girl," end quote. Mr. Mayor, Peggy Shannon is not your girl. She never was and never will be. In addition, San Diego no longer wants you to be their mayor. Your days of fun and games and the sexual harassment of women are over. It is time for you to go. And now I'd like to introduce Peggy Shannon. Peggy, before you go, I'm going to have you sit right there, if you can do that, okay? And I'll pull this in for you. You want to go stand up and, there you go. Okay.
Thank you for coming. Mayor Filner would come by my desk several times a day as I worked at the San Diego City Hall as a volunteer 3 days a week, so I saw him many times during the week. I have to say that when Mayor Filner first talked to me, I took it as a compliment. After all, he is the mayor. My co-workers and I would laugh about it at first, but when it kept happening and it got more and more inappropriate, it was not funny anymore. Mayor Filner started coming by my desk several times a day. He would take my hand and talk about us getting together the next weekend. I knew he was engaged, and I felt very shocked and upset that he would think I would go out with him. Every day that I went to work, I had butterflies in my stomach because I did not know what was going to happen the next time the mayor came by my desk. It became very stressful for me, but I was not going to stay away from my job. On the day that Mayor Filner grabbed me and kissed me, I was so surprised. I went home and cried. I just felt so sad. I was just not sure how to take this contact, but it was very disturbing to me. On the day that Mayor Filner came by my desk and asked me if I thought he could go 8 hours in one night, I was shocked that he would say that to me. I was working and had to get myself together to continue my job at the Senior Citizen Service Desk. I was very bothered by this statement and went home and cried again. On July 12th, the day after I saw the first media coverage, when the mayor walked by my desk and motioned for me to be quiet, I was blown away. He had said in the news release that he was sorry for the way he treated his female staff. Then the next day, he said he had done nothing wrong. I feel now that he was not sorry. It was all bad, and I do not feel that he should have done or said any of those things to me. I thought Mayor Filner would apologize to me, but I was wrong. I want to do the right thing for San Diego. Mayor Filner should resign immediately. Mayor Filner, I am a mother, a grandmother, and a great-grandmother. I have 3 sons, 4 grandsons, and 2 great-grandsons. As our mayor, you should be, but are not, a role model for any of them. Mayor Filner, I want to protect working women. It is long overdue for you to do the right thing, and the right thing now is for you to go.
All right. I'll be happy to take any questions. Right now, she has an EEO complaint filed with the city, which I understand is in the process of being investigated. So what I can say right now is we'll let the city do their investigation, but her main goal is to have him resign. That's what she would like. And if, as and when he does the right thing and resigns, then we'll see what Peggy Shannon wishes to do at that point. But she does have a complaint already on file.
How significant is the timing of what she's alleging, that it happened after the mayor publicly admitted and confessed and apologized?
I think it's significant that it happened in the workplace, in City Hall, while he was mayor, and while he was mayor-elect, and I think that is significant. There's a certain arrogance of power that apparently the mayor has, a certain sense of entitlement, and he seems not to be concerned about the negative impact on the women that he's hurting. Seems to be completely oblivious to that. So I think that's very important. Again, I would reference his attorney's statement some time ago that, well, things may have happened, may or may not have happened in the past, but what about now, while he's mayor? Well, this is while he's mayor, in City Hall, in her workplace.
On that note, he has said he's going to return to work as soon as next week.
Has he said that?
We understand he's going to be returning to the office. What do you think about that?
I think he has disgraced his office, and that he should not return to work. He should resign as soon as possible. It is going to continue to be hurtful to many women whom he has hurt if he does return. Can't be business as usual ever again for Mayor Filner. In the mayor's office, I mean, that stain, that stench of scandal, what he has done is going to continue to follow him. And it will continue unless he's changed, which is hard to believe in the short time that he has had so-called therapy, is going to continue to expose the city to liability and continue to place women at risk in the workplace and elsewhere.
Peggy, you'll probably run into him again in the office.
Well, Peggy would like not to ever run into him again. There was a point at which she just didn't want him to come in the door near where she sits, but now she doesn't want him to come into the door at all. She doesn't want him to return to the mayor's office. She wants him to resign.
Peggy, are you afraid to go back to work?
Peggy is afraid to go back to work.
Will you go back to work?
Peggy is going to continue to work. She will be back to work because she loves her job. She does a very good job serving seniors. She's respected by many seniors. In fact, she was just recently elected to the California Senior Legislature. And she is now a senior assembly member of the state of California Senior Legislature. And they advise the legislature on laws that would be beneficial to seniors. And so, yes, she is going to return to work. She'll be returning to work tomorrow. Happens to be her day off today. But she doesn't ever want to see Mayor Filner again unless he is going to want to personally apologize to her, in which case I would make arrangements for that. And of course, he would also have to resign. That's the best apology will be, if he would just resign.
Is a TRO something on the table?
See, I'll take this in. Sorry.
Is a TRO something that's on the table?
Well, at this point, we want him to resign. That's, there are lots of other options.
Is that one? Legally speaking.
I don't want to comment on that at this time, but she has options. Yes.
Did you just offer to make arrangements for Mayor Filner to apologize to Peggy? I think I heard that correctly.
Well, no, I'm saying if she never wants to see him again unless he does two things. One, resign, and the other would be to personally apologize to her, in which case I would make the arrangement for him to do so. But what's most important is the resignation, because that will be an apology. Not only to her, but to the people of San Diego. I mean, she feels very, very deeply that it's the city of San Diego has been hurt. And senior citizens have been hurt. I mean, this lack of respect, it's pervasive. It's pervaded the workplace. Lack of respect for women. There's no way any of them can enjoy equal employment opportunity with always having to run this gauntlet of sexual harassment. It's impossible. This lack of respect cannot be remedied. It cannot be repaired with just 2 weeks of therapy. I just don't see that. This is not a one-time isolated incident. She is the 15th perhaps woman who's come forward. The numbers are getting so high, it can't keep count anymore. And that doesn't count the women who have not come forward. And I happen to know there are more.
How many more?
I can't tell you how many more, but there are more, because more have contacted me and have not come forward for a variety of reasons. I can't tell you whether they will or will not in the future come forward, but I can tell you that definitely more have contacted me who have not come forward for a variety of reasons.
Several leaders in Mayor Filner's own party have asked him to resign as well, but the White House has no comment so far.
Okay, well.
What would you like to see the White House say about this?
Well, at the highest echelons of the Democratic Party, there has been a unanimous call for resignation, and that would include our two United States senators, Senator Dianne Feinstein, Senator Barbara Boxer, and of course, then we have Nancy Pelosi, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the head of our state Senate, the head of our state Assembly, both of whom are Democrat. San Diego County Central Committee, unanimously the City Council of San Diego. We have not heard from the White House. We have not heard from President Obama. But I think that it's clear that there is a call for him to resign. The majority of the people of San Diego want him to resign. It is time for him to go. I might add there's going to be a march on Sunday at 2 p.m. In the plaza by many people who wish to expressed their feelings that he should resign, and have been asked to participate, and I'll be one of them. And Peggy will join me there on Sunday. I'll just say that she, and so
And
we
she will
invite all
be
of the
meeting with
citizens
sheriff's
of San Diego and
investigators
anyone
today.
else who would like to see
Ready.
the mayor resign, join us. As far as I know, there's only one pending sexual harassment lawsuit against him that's been reported, and that's the one that I filed on behalf of my client, Irene McCormick Jackson. That case is still pending and active. The mayor's attorneys have made a motion to change venue from San Diego County to Imperial County. Apparently, he no longer has confidence in the San Diegans who elected him as mayor, and feels that he cannot get a fair trial in San Diego. We will be filing our opposition to his motion to change venue. The hearing is set for September 16th, the San Diego County Superior Court. We will be there to oppose his motion to change venue. The mayor's actions and misconduct occurred in the workplace in San Diego by an elected official, supervisor, that is the mayor of San Diego. All of this occurred in San Diego, and we think that it should be decided by a jury in San Diego that despite a lot of the coverage, much of which has been negative as to the mayor, that he can still get a fair and impartial jury. So we'll be opposing the motion to have it transferred to San Diego, to Imperial County. There's also a motion to quash filed by the mayor's attorneys, also set for a hearing on that date, September 16th. So unless our lawsuit is resolved before that date, that will go forward. We're still looking forward to taking the mayor's deposition, to hearing his testimony under oath, not hearing his statements at a press conference, because those statements are not under oath. He said what he had to say. Now he needs to say it under oath, under penalty of perjury. Now he needs to answer the city's questions and our questions, because this is all in our lawsuit. And he's going to have to answer the specific questions that I ask him, that my partners ask him, that the city asks him. We want the answers. We want the truth. Our client deserves it. The people of San Diego deserve it. We intend to get it. Now, the deposition's been delayed once. It was set for August 9th. We don't want to tolerate any further delays. You know, the saying, justice delayed is justice denied, definitely applies in these circumstances here, not only for our client, but for the people of San Diego. I mean, women appear to be considered his sexual playthings. Is the city hall his sexual playground? Is that what it's supposed to be? I mean, he's just placed a stain on City Hall, and it's going to be really hard to remove unless he resigns. So I'm going to thank you very much for coming, and we'll look forward to hearing from you in the future. Peggy will be going back to work tomorrow.